Okay, so we've got BP pack here. This is an MBP 501. As you see from the model number here, you see this convertible between 120 and 240 volts. This pack here, as it's come right now, is set for 240, and there's certain, I'm going to show how to actually convert it from 240 to 120, the different things that you want to look at. So if you are converting your spas, you can take a look at making sure that your spa is, your control pack is set up properly here. So to convert, this is going again from 240 to 120. First thing you want to check for is here. What you want to look for is this bank number 1. You see there's number 1 right here, printed on the board. Right there. And you see down here is number 3. So this square is considered, this rectangle is considered bank 3, and any of these pins in here are considered bank 1. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that there's a jumper wire that goes from one of the pins on bank number 1 to bank number 3, because you're going to be putting only in 120 volts, so it's going to only activate one hot and the neutral here. This third line is not going to be active, so you want a jumper wire that's going to go from 1 to 3. So the jumper is usually positioned on the back of the control board. And this is just female to female spade connector. Okay. And I'm just going to stick it on any of the pins in bank number 1. Push that in and connect to any of the pin in bank number 3. Just like that. Okay, so now you got a jumper wire connecting these two lines together. Next thing you want to look at is the dip switch settings, which are up here. You're looking at this here, what you'll see is they're between 1 to 6. 2 is the only one that's up. Okay, so if you look at the board here, right here, 2 being up adds 1 high-speed pump with heater. We're putting this on 120 volts, so we want to make sure that it's 120 volts. Typically, you're going to run at about 40 amps. 120 volts, you're going to run at 15 amps. My mistake there. You're not going to be able to run the high-speed pump and the heater at the same time. So what you're going to want to do is to put down dip switch number 2, like that. So now all of them are down. So that means that if the high-speed pump kicks on, it's going to turn the heater off automatically, therefore not tripping your spa because you're going to be running on 120 volts, 15 amps. So there's your jumper, your top of your dip switch. Last one to check. Converting to 120 is not too big of a deal, but what you want to always make sure is that all of your components here, so you got an ozone, pump 1, AV, pump 3, blower, all of them are configured with the correct either 120 or 120 volts. They have the right power going into them. So in this case, because we're going from 240 to 120, we're going to put 120 volts on both bank 1 and 3. As you can see, pump number 1, these two right here, these 2 wires right here that go here, the 3, they're going to get 120 volts because they're plugged into the same bank number 3. So they're completely fine. If you're going the other way, if you're going from 120 to 240, the pump is only rated at 1 voltage, either 120 volts or 240 volts. In that case, it'd be 120, so you'd have to move them. So with this one, as you can see, the pump is on the correct voltage. The jumper wire is connected properly, and we've got the dip switch down, so you don't have the high speed turning on at the same time that the heater turns on. Outside of that, your spa is ready, your pack is ready to be hooked up and installed.